Many incredible actions happened on D-Day. One of the most famous is the attack on Pointe du Hoc by 3 companies of the 2nd Ranger Battalion. An amazing part of the Pointe du Hoc action had nothing to do with the Rangers. The 101st Airborne were landing behind Utah Beach, 12 miles away as the crow flies from Pointe du Hoc. It was going to take 6 days to close the gap between Omaha and Utah beaches. Arriving from the west, the C-47, piloted by 2nd Lieutenant Juno with 19 paratroopers, had crossed right over the peninsula in heavy flak and had been hit. Lieutenant Floyd Johnson saw they were over the channel and shouted to the pilot to take them back. The pilot didn't turn right round, but changed course to cross the coast near Saint-Pierre-du-Mont. Private First Class Christensen told Len Goodgal that the right-hand engine was on fire, causing the wind to drop. The plane went into a dive and then started to climb as the green light went on. 4 men managed to jump, with flak passing near them, before the plane crashed into the channel. Lieutenant Johnson and Christensen actually landed in Pointe du Hoc Battery. Len Goodgal saw he was heading to land in the sea. He ditched his leg bag and anything else he could get rid of. He saw the plane crash into the sea. Goodgal landed in shallow water. He waded to the shore, but was completely lost. Then he heard somebody calling. It was Private Raymond Crouch. They didn't know where they were, except that they were at the bottom of sheer cliffs that they couldn't climb. They decided to go west. As dawn was breaking, they saw landing craft coming from the east along the coast. Goodgal waved to them, but they didn't stop. It was the Rangers heading to Pointe du Hoc after going off course towards Pointe du Hoc. As they approached the headland, they came under fire. They hadn't trained to scale the cliffs, but they could help by treating the wounded. Crouch tried to retrieve first aid kits from the landing craft, but the fire from the cliff top was too intense. Goodgal remembers the destroyer Falley firing on the Germans to assist the attack. The British destroyer HMS Taliban was firing as well. Once the Rangers were established on the cliff top, Goodgal and Crouch went up a ladder. Rudder told Goodgal to put a flag on the cliffside to protect them from friendly fire. Later he was told to retrieve it and put it on a pole so that it was visible from inland. Lieutenant Johnson and Christensen, who had landed inside the perimeter of the battery, had been taken prisoner. Lieutenant Johnson had escaped before the Rangers arrived, but not Christensen. He was marched off and taken to a POW camp at Limburg in Germany. When Goodgal had seen the Rangers in their British LCAs, they were coming parallel to the coast because they had been going the wrong way. That navigation error meant that they lost 40 minutes. If they had landed at 6:30, as was the plan, they would have captured the battery by 7, and then 500 Rangers of the 5th Rangers and companies A and B of the 2nd would have come in to reinforce them. The navigation mistake led to them having to defend the position for 2 days before reinforcements arrived from Omaha Beach. During the 2-day battle, USS Harding sent a message to battleship Texas informing them that the Rangers needed ammunition and medical attention. Ian Gardner wrote the book Tonight We Die as Men on the 3rd Battalion 506. He interviewed Goodgal during the research on the book. Goodgal only reported that he and Crouch were at Pointe du Hoc. A written report by the Rangers mentions 3 paratroopers present. One of them was wounded by shrapnel. So it's possible that Johnson, after having escaped, went back to join the Rangers. After being wounded, he was evacuated with others in a landing craft. One could be tempted to think that this is one of those apocryphal stories of D-Day, but there's photographic evidence. This photo shows a group of rangers on the slope caused by a bomb hitting the cliff edge, drinking coffee that came in from the Texas. Looking closer at the shoulder of the guy with the dark helmet shows the Screaming Eagle arm patch. That was Goodgal. The wounded head, bottom right, belongs to Colonel Trevor, the British commando who went in with them. After being relieved by the men of the 29th and the 5th Battalion Rangers, they moved west and met some other paratroopers on the 9th. On the 11th, Goodgal and Crouch were back with their Company I. Rudder had written a letter for them to explain where they'd been and what they'd done, recommending them for the Distinguished Service Cross. Their officers didn't believe it and laughed. Goodgal was wounded by shrapnel near Cotentin. Johnson was back with the 506 in Holland and the Battle of the Bulge. He stayed in the army and retired in 1962. Christensen was released from the POW camp in 1945. He returned to the States and got married.